March officially. It's officially March, baby. And I owe you guys the growth dinner update. Nemo always asks for this. Says I have to continue to do it, so I'm gonna do it. Let's see. Last where we left off, we had just wrapped up our second dinner. We are going into our third dinner. We're going to be having that this month on March 11th. And we've expanded our Growth Dinner X client roster in terms of who we're supporting there. So a couple things to fill you in on. The ICP for Growth Dinners is, I've been doing a lot of thinking about this because I think at one point I was like, I don't want us to I don't want to create like an elitist type like community. I don't want to also shun people and make them feel like shit because they haven't hit certain revenue targets in their business. So how do I account for that while still having a standard, right? Having a bar for who we let in. And I think the conclusion that I've come to, or not I think, this is the conclusion that I've come to, is that we have to have revenue bands, but I built in flexibility there. So the ideal founder that we're targeting for our ICP, they're doing $500,000 at minimum in annual revenue. They've either had a $2 million exit, or they've raised at least $1 million. So, and that goes all the way up to 3 million. So 500 to 3 million, 2 million exit, or $1 million raised. And so that gives us a little bit of like what do you say? Like a kind of like a benchmark to work with. What I didn't want was to have people at the same table with somebody who's doing $1 million, 2 million, with somebody who's like doesn't know how to build a Wix website. Sounds crazy, but there's some young, scrappy people out there that are able to make stuff happen. I believe in those people. I just don't think those are our people. Now, with that, I also had to have some flexibility in that, because what if somebody's operating a business, or what if they had to I was talking to a guy who he built a pretty awesome business. They got to a couple million in revenue, and then he had to shut it down. So do I tell that person no, that they can't come in? To me, that person actually has a very valuable experience because they've been able to bounce back, and or they have a lot of wisdom from failing than from succeeding, right? So we've gotten really clear that that's the ICP, at least in this iteration for Growth Dinners. For Growth Dinners Local, I guess that's what we're calling it, for Growth Dinners Local. Now for Growth Dinners X, this is like a kind of like executive dinners, where we are booking dinners for our clients, and we're collaborating on filling the room with them, bringing the roster, us doing the outreach and the coordination and the logistics and all that stuff. So we're experimenting with that. Added another client to that roster, and we'll be doing something in April. So I'll have more to report then. So that's going to be really, really fun to see, like, is this something that we can continue to do? In the meantime, while we build up Growth Dinners Local, because it's definitely like a long-term play. I could be wrong, but I think that it'll take probably about a year to 2 years to get to $1 million. ARR. Again, I could be wrong. It could grow faster, but that's what I'm anticipating. And with that, you have to be patient, right? You have to like. I don't want to build a business and create chaos. I want to build it and methodically. Like, I don't want it to feel like I'm in a rat race. That's why I became a founder in the first place, so I didn't have to have a job. I mean, really, as founders, like, our clients and our customers are our bosses. Anyway, no one will ever admit that, but that's the truth. So, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with it, and I've made peace with that. A lot of things I've done, I've just tried to build like super fast, and I'm like, oh, you gotta go, break things and move fast, right? Is like the philosophy in the startup world. But I think the more I think about this, and even like the experience of other founders I've talked to, is like the goal is sustainability. It's like, how long can you like stay in the game, right? And then part of that, I think, is being able to build something that you aren't you're not burning yourself out. I think that's really important, especially if you have family, especially if you have like other like you're more than your business, right? And you're maybe your father, maybe your mother, maybe you are an aunt, uncle, maybe you take care of your aging parents, right? Like, the ability to have a business allows us to do those things, but like, if we don't take care of like our health, if we like grind ourselves down to the bone, then like we're worthless, like, to our team and also to the other things we're accountable for. So I don't want to build a business that like or at least the intention is not to build a business that way. It's to build something that's sustainable and that feels aligned. And this has been like one of the funnest projects that I've worked on. Like, everybody loves it. Everybody that I talk to is like geeked about it. They're like, yeah, man. I was talking to this guy the other day, and he was like, yeah, like I've built this really successful company. Like, I have a team, and like, really, I'm just trying to like find the more balance, right? Like, spend more time with my daughter, be present, and so that's something that we get to build as far as part of our programming, and kind of like what we look to create. Outside of that, we also have some more news I want to share with you. Oh, I got some news, dog. Yeah. We recently got accepted to the Idea Factory. It's actually a really cool name. So here in Richmond, there's a group called Startup Virginia, and they're basically like an incubator of sorts. And one of their programs is called the Idea Factory. It's like to help you build up your, like, if you have an existing business, the goal is to help you like really get clear on like your ICP and get in front of customers and start having conversations, which we're already doing that. So it'll be more of an accelerant. And if you don't have a business or a product, it's like supposed to be like a jump start to help you get clear on like what your offer is, who you're selling to. So not my first rodeo. I've started multiple companies. A lot of them have failed, right? A lot of them haven't stuck around, but I'm always intrigued to learn more about how can I be a better founder? How can I build things like more intelligently? And so that's why I'm excited for this opportunity to be in this cohort with the Idea Factory, Startup Virginia. So shout out to them. If you're a founder, go check out what they're doing, especially if you're locally here in Richmond. And then outside of that, yeah, I'm still looking for great people. I had some people that I was working with, and that I'll still work with in some capacity, I'm sure, in the future. But for whatever reason, like, they've moved on and decided to do other things, which I'm super supportive of. And so I'm actually looking for great people to partner with in different capacities. Like maybe it's a co-founder role, maybe it's an admin role, maybe it's a chief of staff, right? Like I'm pretty clear on like my zone of genius and what I shouldn't be doing, right? Thank God for Claude and AI, because that's really been a lifesaver and a lifeline. But I'm really clear that in order to build this business correctly, it's going to take an army, right? It's not going to be the Vernon show, and I'm perfectly okay with that. And so putting it out there in the universe, if anybody hears this, sees this, and thinks that you'd be a good fit, primarily looking for an integrator. If you have ever studied the EOS framework, there's like a visionary and an integrator type personality type. I'm definitely the visionary. I can integrate, I can do things, but that's not where I excel at. That's not my zone of genius. So the goal is to stay out of those things and to stay more in the things that are my zone of genius. So that's another big announcement I wanted to share. Also, putting it out there. If you know anybody who is a fit, ideally locally here in Richmond. And I have some other things that I'll share, but I'll leave you on a cliffhanger because that's what great marketers do. And I will say this is probably gonna be one of the fastest ways we accelerate getting in front of our ICP, and it's through media, but not the media that you're probably thinking. And if you're smart, you can probably figure it out. Like if you follow me, you can probably figure it out. But if you haven't been following me, this is exactly why you should be subscribing to my LinkedIn and anywhere else I create content, because you're going to be left on a cliffhanger until I tell you what it is next time. Outside of that, one other just, I guess, words of wisdom or things to leave you with to think about outside of the cliffhanger is to remember to take care of yourself and to create space for reflection and being present with your loved ones. The world is super wild right now. There's so much going on, and it could be easy to get caught up in like a whirlwind of emotion, a whirlwind and tailspin of like fear, frustration, anger, resentment, on top of running a business, right? You're still human, you still have feelings and emotions. As far as I know, people are still going to need people for the foreseeable future. So I think it's important to take care of and prioritize your health and prioritize the people around you that matter. And I thought it'd be good to just share that because, that's something that I'm working through and reminding myself of, and I thought it would be helpful for you, my friend. So that's going to wrap this edition up of the, the Growth Dinners update, Growth Dinners monthly update. This is my version of building in public, and I hope to see you soon, my friend. Be well.